This is part two. I washed the tiles, or soaked them in water, not washed. And you'll let them gain thickness again and reform. So I hung up on these little curtain hooks I have for the other project. So here's where they are. And unfortunately, the wife allowed this. So they're just hanging on the gem up there on the overhead. And I use that with like 40 pounds for tension on the rope. Oh, good job, Spot. Yeah, knocked. Just dropped them all. So I gotta pick those up, but yeah. So let me get in there and let me get this thing all acoustically treated, and then I'll be back. Okay, so here's the plan. It's a 10 by 10 room, and the back of the room is a long closet that's 7 feet wide, or 7 feet, yeah, 7 feet wide, and 24 inches deep. And there's a front wall that's 18 inches long, and another front wall that's 14 inches long. That's by the door. So if we look at this, you can see what we got recording, or not recording, we got where we're going to put it here in the back of the home theater. So this will be the recording booth here. Now if we go and look inside, you'll see it's all plaster and lath. I just went and put the microphone there. It's an Audiotech 2020 XLR microphone. That goes over here to the Raspberry Pi, which I'm recording on now. Different microphone, but still. So this is very, very reflective. So let me go ahead and pull up the test and the screenshots of the reflections, and I'll be right back. So here you can hear the untreated reflections. And here's another one where I've actually treated it, the end effect. Now let's take a look and analyze this. Okay, so let's analyze what we're seeing here. The treated versus untreated booth. What we did here was a clap test. You know, I clap my hands once. It's a simple way to visualize the room's acoustic behavior. The top waveform shows the sound of a single hand clap in an untreated plaster and lath closet with hardwood floors. The bottom form shows the same clap, but only after treatment, once the foam, blankets, dampening materials, etc. were added. So let's take a look at the top waveform, the untreated part. In the untreated space, the walls and the hardwood floor are acting like mirrors. Each surface is reflecting high frequency energy, sharp, fast echoes that overlap with each clap. They kind of build on each other. You can see here that the waveform rings out a dense forest of spikes extending more than a tenth of a second. That's a lot of echo. And even though the clap was a single instant burst of reflections, it all smears into a blur. And that's why the room's they call it the echo, or slap, the slap echo. It's a bright, harsh, and it's uncontrolled. Now, if we look at the bottom waveform, because these are like, finite examples here, the treated booth on the bottom, if we look at this, we see the results of the treated room. The reflections are gone. After the initial impact, the waveform falls almost immediately into silence. A clean decay within 0.03 of a second. The foam panels and the rubber on the floor, the pad on the floor, they're all absorb the high frequency reflections, while the blankets, which I'm using on the doorway there, I'll show you in a bit, tame the lower end resonance. The result is a dry, controlled acoustic signature, what you want when you're doing voice recording. Now, here's how it kind of works. The plaster and lath walls reflected 95% of the sound energy, and the foam converted much of that into heat energy, because energy can't be destroyed, only changed. That's probably why people that are full of hot air heat up the room right when they talk, right? I don't know. And the hardwood floors are bouncing the high frequencies back up. Now the blankets and rugs and that soft material absorbs the scatters and absorbs it. And the corners is where your low frequency build up, usually like pressure waves is what it really is. That's why some people put like towels there, or just rolled up material. They call them like bass traps. So basically that's what it is. It's absorbing the pressure, the cylinder pressure. Now the ceiling, I got 12 by 12 inch acoustic tiles, which is, foam. It's right above the microphone, and I went ahead and did the whole ceiling and the whole booth, but it didn't really have to be, but I didn't like the way it looked. It looked weird, so I just wanted it all done. So more is good, I guess. It probably didn't make a difference other than, you know, lighten my wallet a bit, but neither here nor there. Anyway, the tiles above the microphone eliminate the vertical flutter between the mic and the ceiling. That's one of the common hidden reflection things. And also behind the mic's really bad, but we have back rejection for sound on that Audio-Technica 2020. So, in conclusion, the untreated test, the room is louder than your voice, pretty much. Every surface adds its own reflection. It almost gains energy. Or it would seem, it's not really energy, but it would seem like it's getting loud and gaining energy and bouncing back to the microphone and such. If we were to have speakers in there where we could actually add energy, it would get louder and louder, I believe. But anyway, in the treated room, all that echo disappears. It's the sound of control, not silence, but accuracy of what we want to do with the reflections and have them go into the mic and absorb. When you see the energy die quickly like this, you know the booth is doing its job, capturing your voice and nothing else. And that's what you want. You don't want the random reflections. I mean, there's not a lot I can do about house noises, but like I said, I got the big rubber mats for like gym mats on the floor. That almost mechanically separates me from people walking and stuff. It doesn't transfer through there. It's like a big buffer. So that works. The walls work. I get the heavy moving blankets. I got the ones off Amazon. They're like 90 pounds per dozen, so they're like 3 times thicker than what I can get at Harbor Freight, the heavy duty ones. All right, so as you see, I got the curtain up there, or the blanket, moving blanket, and that's what it is. If you guys want to stop and look at it, but what I did, I put on rollers up here. There. There we go. Rollers. A little roller thing. Makes it real easy. Very easy to move. And you should probably get the tone here, but it's a little different. But if we get back here a bit, there's the thing. And I'll cover this up like this all the way. But yeah. And then I'll put a blanket here. I've got a mat I'm going to put on top of this. It's just jammed in there, but that's the whole thing right like that. And I left this open because, well, we'll say it's for acoustic brightness, but it's probably laziness. But I didn't want anything around that light, which I'm going to take and put regular lighting here in a bit, LED lighting. I might put another strip up there, but I think we're good. And I don't want to get out of control. And these tiles go all the way down to the floor here. And this is just where my stuff is. But I'll put a blanket over that or cover it with a towel. But right now, there's no reflections. If I just clap, like, let me slap my chest. It's dead. So it's pretty good. And if I need any more brightness, I can open up the room a little bit, and I can bring in the other echo of the outside room, but this will keep it just quiet as I go back and forth, it goes back. So that's pretty much it. And I've got the thing up there. Could use more paint, I guess, but whatever. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. I don't know. All right. Have a good one, and subscribe to both channels. All right, have a good one.